Hello!
Hello.
We're back.
I'm not sure we still know how to do this, but apparently, after Jess and I being on vacation for the past, what feels like 2 hours, but it was probably more like 2 months, we haven't been on vacation for 2 months. But, anyways, we're back after our sabbatical with episode 101.
Woo!
And our guest is the amazing Nikki Kelly. Nikki, for those that have not met you before, I mean, none of us have ever met you before. I mean, that's the whole point of the show.
Remember the podcast.
Exactly. Hello, stranger. Amazing stranger. For those, including us, that have never met you before, who are you?
Hello, strangers. Lovely to meet you. I'm Nikki Kelly. I am a BI developer turned analytics person, right? Because we've updated our terminology over the years. I help customers with data. That's what I've been doing for about 12, 15 years now. I also like to help them with all of the nice stuff around data, like data governance, data strategy, data culture. So really, my week can vary quite dramatically. But I typically work for consultancies. So I go in and help our customers with very specific problems over a period of time. And then I get to change it up and move on to something else. I also co-organise Data Scotland, which is a free-to-attend community event here in Glasgow typically, but Scotland at large, which is where I've met yourself, Ben, before. So all things data all the time. But other than that, you can see my little wonderful fur babies up there. I hate myself for saying fur baby, but I am that person now for sure. Here in Glasgow with my partner, and we just have a very nice, boring life.
I have to say, I have heard your dog a couple of moments before we actually started the episode. The dog sounds bigger than it looked on that picture. Either it's a very old picture, or it's a surprisingly loud, small dog.
It's a very loud bark for very small, friendly dogs. They sound terrifying. Perfect. But once you're in that door, burglar, like friend, foe, whatever, they're just going to want to lick your face. That's it.
Perfect.
I would scan down right now and you just see two little fur piles, like, slobbering all over their funny toys. So...
Amazing. We'll add that segment to the podcast.
I didn't see anything. I tried. No, not working. Anyways, all the data, all the things. I like that. But that's going to make our first proper question much harder, probably, because now you have to pick a favorite. I know we don't have favorites, but let's face it, we do. And even if you don't, just pretend you do, because that's the whole point of the question.
That's
Nikki, what is your favorite data thingy?
So my favorite data thing isn't perhaps something so tangible about data. It's not an app. It's not, a code. It's not a formula. It's not a DAX thing, like most of my colleagues would probably tell you. My favorite thing about data is when I'm able to train people. Now, it's pretty intangible, and I think for a lot of folk in the tech sphere, the training piece can be a little bit soft and a little bit not their favorite thing to do. I love it. I think that it gives such a kind of focus to what we do and why, and how we can bring people along into using data in a better way in their daily lives, both for work and in real life, to be honest. But with a tool like Power BI, I've trained people that have no idea what Power BI is before. They walk in for a dashboard in a day course because they've been sent by their boss, not because they want to be there. And to see them go from kind of agitated and kind of disengaged in the morning to just fully into it by the afternoon and telling you all the things they're going to go away and do the next day in work and how they can actually improve their own daily workload, weekly workload, monthly workload is so cool. It's such a buzz, like, to get that kind of positivity out of what we do and to just show people that would otherwise have no idea. So that's my favorite data thing.
I love that. I feel like there's been a few times where I've been given a presentation and you can literally see people's face like, oh man, and they get excited. Like, you're right, that is the coolest thing, just to be able to, like, we already know it's cool because we love it, but to be able to share that with someone else and for them to have that moment where they're going to take it away and do something with it is super cool.
Yeah, and I think like, I didn't connect this thought until right now. I think that's why I love Data Scotland as well, like putting on a community event with sessions throughout the day for learning. It's having someone come in that maybe isn't that sure about it. Like they have heard of data science, they've heard of AI because of because of the press, because of all the chat around that in the last few years. They've heard of Gen AI, they've heard of ChatGPT, but then they come in, they go along to a couple of intro sessions, and like just you see the light switch on, and it's really engaging. It's really cool to see that.
Yeah, I feel like those events too, like you get kind of immersed into this community where everyone else is like, oh, this is cool too. And it just like you bounce off each other, don't you? Like those community events are some of my favorite for sure.
Definitely.
And Data Scotland is right on top of that list because
I've never made it yet though.
You really should, because these folks, they do, first of all, I'm going to say it's probably the most diverse event I've seen yet. So they're doing a great job on that. But also, it's one of those events, and there's a couple of them out there. We're just, you arrive and you immediately feel welcome and included in the group. So
that's really, really great to hear. Jess, you have to make it along. Data Scotland.
I know.
Obviously I'm biased. We are the greatest, but there's many great events out here. But in terms of locale, I think we're bringing the data community to Scotland in a really beautiful way. I think we've managed to build a really great community and build a lot of positivity. Like everyone that comes along, the last few years, you'll see them, after the event, we all hang out, and it just kind of goes on all day. It's like a 12-hour day before you even start heading out. But yeah, it's really positive to see people engage with all the things that we all know are super cool and we do every day, and to be able to have that kind of conversation around it as well.
Yeah, totally. It's on my list for sure. I'll be there one day.
We'll hold you to that.
That's fine.
I hear it's happening this September. So
what?
September 12th, I want to say. I've already forgotten. But yeah.
You can find it in the show notes.
Yes.
Yeah, once Nikki put it in the show notes. I don't think we told Nikki, but our guests actually write the show notes. So.
Oh no, I've already failed.
Well, so Nikki, here's another secret that we can let you in on. I don't think any guest ever actually did that. It's just our very elegant way of getting out of doing the work.
It's called crowdsourcing.
Delegation? That's fine.
Yeah. Love it. Nice.
Delegation without follow-up. I would say that is basically what's happening.
We just throw it out into the universe and hope. One day it'll stick.
I love my memoirs.
Nice. All right, Nikki. Well, when you're not doing data things and you're not helping to organize Data Scotland, what is your favorite non-data thing you like to get up to?
This is a tough one, guys. Your three questions are all very hard, I have to say. I think that I'm going to tell you that my favorite thing out with data is documentaries. I love a documentary. I love to sit down for like an hour or an hour and a half and learn about someone's life or the way a group of people live their life. Like, it's so interesting. I also, like, when I went to uni, I studied sociology, and I've just never lost that inclination to just know what other people do with their day-to-day life. So I will watch a documentary about anything or anyone, pretty much. Nice.
Do you have like a favorite one or a recent one?
Yeah, I have a few favorite ones probably. There's a docuseries about punk that came out maybe 2021, and it's fantastic because it's the only punk documentary that really covers both the British and the US side of the punk journey from the 70s through to now. So it's fantastic. Highly recommend it. You can find it on Sky Arts if you're in the UK.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Very cool. Are you into punk, Ben? Are you going to go watch that?
See, I'm not into punk, but I can relate to being into documentaries because it just really helps me to disconnect when I'm not as worn out that I just need to watch Friends for the 27th time, but also not as attentive anymore to do something meaningful with my time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
And to be fair, I usually, when I get to that, I'm more of a screen person. So rather than grabbing a book, I would usually watch something. So yeah. I mean, of course, I spend 23 hours of my day just watching reels on Facebook, but for the remaining hour, it's
fine.
Meaningful.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
This is a safe space. It's just the three of us.
Right. And our 1 million viewers.
Well, there's that.
Like and subscribe.
But they all signed an NDA, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm sure. What one of us did that.
I was meant to send that out. It's fine.
Perfect. Great. Nikki, you're hired.
Oh no.
Welcome to the team.
I think documentaries are super interesting too, because like punk is not something I know a lot about, but you could go and watch that and just probably enjoy it even if you don't know a lot about that area, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I think
cool.
a good documentary is just good storytelling, right? Like ultimately, it's just about telling that really interesting story about one very interesting thing, whether it be a person or a scene or like a specific moment in time. So that's my kind of like decompression go-to for sure.
Yeah, we watched the Tour de France documentary like a couple years ago now. At this point, my wife has zero interest in cycling, like actually hates riding bikes, but now is really into watching other people cycle because it's so interesting how that sport fits together. And she had zero interest until I was like, oh, I want to watch this documentary, and then she just got sucked right in. So I feel like if the documentary's done well, it's a great way to like just, I don't know, find new interest, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I ended up watching the F1 documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, wow, I did not think I would ever find out this much about F1 in my life.
Agreed. That's still on my to watch list after this cycling one. I was like, I should go back and watch that for sure.
Definitely.
Have either of you watched Chef's Table?
Oh yeah,
on Netflix.
Yeah, we just watched the new one that came out last week. We've watched 2 of those so far.
I have not caught up on the latest one, but
it's really good. Yeah, I like Chef's Table. I mostly like the intro music. It's just so
agreed.
Gets you going.
Okay, good to know.
No, it's a very good one. I mean, it makes me want to go to all of these restaurants, but there's always that. It makes me go to all of these restaurants way more than a documentary about Tour de France would make me want to ride a bike. So I'm team.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. No. But speaking of food documentaries, Nikki, what's your also? You see what I did there? I mean,
well, it was
Chef's
kiss.
A double segue.
You guys have done this before.
When you were talking about documentaries, I kept thinking, how can I get a segue from the Tour de France to talk? And I was like, there we go. Anyways, now the secret is out. But again, this is a safe space.
True.
The answer is not out yet. Nikki, what is your favorite food?
This is the toughest one, isn't it? I think everyone must find this.
It's not getting easier, but honestly, if it would be easy, anybody could do it. So that's why we brought you on.
Delivering the truth, the difficult truth.
We won't ask any more questions after this one.
Okay, I need to make it last. So this is difficult. I have an answer. You might disqualify me, but my answer is rice noodles because they are the main component of like 4 of my top 10 dishes.
I see what you did here.
Yeah, I've kind of tried to hedge my bets a bit rather than commit to one thing forever because this is going to go down. This is it now. It's going to go out in the world, and then I'm committed to it. Rice noodles. You can make summer rolls. You can make chung fan, which is like a little like rice roll parcel stuffed with like delicious things. You can make brothy soup. You can make like hor fun, which is like a stir fry dish. So good. You can make so many things with it. All of them are so comforting and so tasty. It's perfect. There's a rice noodle for every occasion, every season, every temperature. Perfect.
Like ice cream rice noodles?
That sounds like we could make it work, but
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's a thing because if you look at all the different ice cream flavors that have popped up over the past couple of years.
True.
Very true.
True.
And some of them are really, some of them I would not necessarily have had to see light of day, but some of them are surprisingly delicious. Even stuff we're like, this should not be an ice cream by the sounds of it. But anyway. We ask for a food, not an ingredient, but you know what? You're the first one after these sabbaticals, so we're going to make an exception here. We're going to allow it.
I really appreciate that. If you backed me into a corner, who knows what I would have said, so.
Interesting.
Let me rethink. Jess, are we actually allowing it?
Let's cut that bit out and redo it. Oh, that's cool.
All right. Just like that, after 3, Not
We
so
still
hard
got it.
questions. We still got it. I mean,
Pros, guys, pros.
it's like riding a bike.
Amazing.
Oh, it's just full circle.
Just have you ever seen something so professional as this? Just
never even close.
like I must have forgotten how professional it was because I don't remember it being this professional.
At some point, they will have a documentary about the production process of this show.
Mind blown.
Yes, absolutely. Finding Data Friends documentary coming 2027, maybe? We can make that happen.
You heard it here, folks. Nikki's making it happen. You can find it in the show notes.
Definitely.
It's going to be on Netflix. I'm going to put that out.
It's going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to want it.
Yeah, but not everyone's going to get it. We cannot
exclusive.
Have
exclusive, yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We're a very inclusive bunch.
That's true.
Yes, we are very inclusive, but I mean, think of all the money we would get from Netflix just if we go exclusive with them. I mean, just think about it for a second. We would never have to work again. We could make this podcast 24/7.
Think of all the friends we can meet.
Nice. I mean, 15 minutes an episode, so that's 4 episodes an hour, 4 times. Yeah, it's a lot of episodes.
That is
a lot of friends. That's almost 100 friends.
Don't forget all the post processing you do. There's hours of work there.
Yeah, but we just hired Nikki, so I'm pretty sure we can offload that.
Totally.
She's too busy doing show notes for 4 episodes an hour.
I'm actually just going to outsource it to the boys. Just have them tippy tap away. Eventually, they'll write something.
Yeah,
problem solved.
Dogs plus AI. What could go wrong?
Exactly.
Nothing. Really nothing. I got really nothing. Anyways, Nikki, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we see you next week with yet another friend. Bye.
Bye, folks.